Hello and good night slash afternoon for people around the world and local folk. So welcome to Ask Dan. Today's topic is what is protein? So you'll hear people talk about, protein shakes or I need to have more protein or, when's the best time to have protein? What's different types of proteins? Or what's a good protein? What's a bad protein? So I'm here to bust the myth. Tonight's topic is what is protein? Now, from a scientific perspective, protein is a macronutrient that your body requires in order to build cells and repair cells in the body, right? So it's essential for building cells and when you go to the gym, you will most likely end up breaking some muscle fibers down, and what you're doing there is your body's going to use protein that you're consuming post your workout or pre-workout that you've already got stored in your body to repair those broken cells. Now, just going to pull up my notes here. So basically, the scientific term is protein is a macronutrient that is essential to building and repairing cells in your body. Commonly found in animal products, though it's present in other sources such as some vegetables. Now, what I want to talk about is the protein is, if you imagine protein as like a complete Lego, so if you build something out of Lego, that is protein in itself. When you consume protein, your body breaks it down to what is called as a complete protein or an incomplete proteins. A complete protein, your body breaks down into small Lego pieces, also known as amino acids, right? So then those amino acids get pushed into the muscle or get pushed into the cells that need repairing, and therefore can begin the protein synthesis cycle and start repairing the broken down cells or the cells that need nourishment. So therefore repairing those broken cells. So like I mentioned earlier, there's two types of proteins. There's an incomplete protein and there's a complete protein. So complete proteins are like animal products, usually found in meats, where it's a complete protein. It has all the essential amino acids. Obviously, an incomplete protein, then, if that's the case, is a good source of protein, but it doesn't have all the essential amino acids. So like I mentioned earlier, a complete protein would be like your red meats, your poultries, your lambs, your beef, your pork, and your poultry, so your chickens, your turkey, your fish and seafood. So, you might have some salmon, you might have some basa, some whiting, barramundi, tuna as well. And then seafoods like your octopus, your calamari, prawns, and so forth. And then an incomplete set of proteins is your cheeses, your vegetable-based protein, so like your mushrooms and your zucchini and all that, spinach. They're incomplete proteins because, yes, they do carry minerals and vitamins, but they don't have the essential amino acids that your meats would have, your animal products. Excuse me. So like I mentioned earlier, guys, a couple of types of proteins are so your red meat also carries a lot of essential amino acids. So, your vitamins that are necessary for the body to regulate your body. So, regular hormonal production, protein synthesis for the muscle fibers to replenish and repair. So when you go to the gym, what you're actually doing is when you're lifting some weights or, you're doing some HIIT, body work or whatever you may be doing, your actual muscle fibers are getting broken down. So you're breaking down cells within the muscle, tearing the muscle. That's why the next day you might feel some DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. That's because your muscle itself has been broken down. What protein will do when you consume a protein shake, or you have some salmon post-workout, or you might have any sort of a protein source, your body's going to break that down into your stomach, and then it's going to actually shoot those. If you imagine like a road system, it's going to push those. It's going to push those the amino acids into the muscles that need repairing, so the broken down muscle fibers, right? So why protein is important is because it keeps you fuller for longer. It requires a lot more energy to be burned to break it down as opposed to carbohydrates or fats. Protein carries 3 or 4 calories per gram of protein. So it's really, really lean source. Now, when I say animal products, I mean there's two types of protein. So you can go get like a roast chicken, and you can go get chicken breast. The leaner the meat, the less animal fats you're consuming. Now, there's been studies where it's known red meat is a rule of thumb for me, once a week, male or female, regardless. I stick to once a week red meat. Now, that's inclusive of your lambs, your pork, your beef minces, your beef steaks. Minute steak for me is a good lean cut of beef. Again, pork minute steak or pork schnitzel is a good cut. Obviously not the crumbed version, but it's definitely good cuts of meat, lean protein sources. It's inclusive of the essential aminos, so therefore making them complete proteins. So they're my once a week rotations, and purely from a sheer fact that from what I've been reading, and plus media, plus scientific studies, it can lead to some cancers, some known cancers, a lot of red meat consumption. So if you just stick to red meat once a week, for those of you who are part of the program, you will get the food options program guide, and it basically lists all the proteins I consume on a regular basis within my week. It lists all the carbohydrates and fats that I consume, so you can quite easily create, your breakfast menu, your lunch menu, and your dinner menu. So other good sources of complete proteins are eggs. Like eggs are the ultimate package. So you're going to get a lot of micronutrients, you're going to get a lot of macronutrients, right? But when I say eggs, I tend to go for yes, they are a little bit more expensive, but probably the GMO free and the organic or the free range type eggs. That just means that, there's no hormones or there's no additional additives that the chicken's been given to produce eggs quicker. And it is a little bit more expensive, guys, but realistically, if you're consuming 3 or 4 eggs, you're looking at a $2 to $3 difference, per carton, it may be. So yes, I understand for some people that's a massive increase because $2 or $3 here, plus you're going $2 or $3 on the organic meat side of things, and it all adds up. I completely understand that. But when you can, my suggestion is to go GMO free, and the organic free range. So that's just a definite game changer. It just means that you're not getting any additional chemicals that the chickens are getting pumped with, or that the meat's actually getting pumped with to grow quicker or to actually make the meat tender. So that's just my advice on red meats and poultry. Again, with fish and seafood, guys, I tend to limit myself purely from a mercury perspective. Especially with fish farms, you tend to find that there's a lot more higher content in mercury, but fish does carry a lot of good fats that we need, omega-3. So it's definitely a game changer, and your body really, really likes that lean fish meat. So I'll usually rotate a salmon on a regular basis. I might have salmon twice a week. So I'll have so I'll do a red meat on, we'll say day one, Monday. So hypothetically, I'll do a red meat on the Monday for lunch. And then I'll do a poultry on for dinner. So it might be minute steaks for lunch, and then I'll have chicken for dinner. And then just so it's easier for me to food prep and cook and meal prep, I'll have on the Wednesday, I'll have chicken again. On the Tuesday, I'll have chicken again for lunch. And then Tuesday night, I might have turkey mince or chicken mince. So just another poultry complete protein. And then on the Wednesday, I'll flick it to salmon or tuna for lunch, just nice and easy. So there's not much meal prep for me. And then I'll have salmon for dinner, flick it back to poultry on the Thursday. So chicken or I might have turkey mince if I've got some left over, and then chicken on the Thursday night, flick it back to the tuna on the Friday. And then I'll do my red meat and my mixture of fiber carbs on the Saturdays and Sundays. So for the vegetarians and the vegans out there, yes, it's a little bit difficult to hit your protein targets, but if you stick with like legumes and potatoes got a good source of protein, it is also a good source of carb. Spinaches, mushrooms, your kidney beans, your red beans, black beans, soybeans, tofu's got really, really good levels of really, really good complete protein source. The only thing is, guys, when you're getting proteins from your vegetable sources, realistically, it's an incomplete protein, so you still need to cater for those other missing macronutrients, the essential aminos. So if you're having a stir fry, for example, I'll definitely put some tofu in the stir fry, maybe include some dairy in there, so the other macronutrients that are missing, the other micronutrients that are missing from the essential aminos, to complete that meal, to make it a complete protein meal. So just a quick summary, guys. Basically, what I'm saying is protein, there's 2 types of proteins. You got a complete protein and an incomplete protein. A complete protein is a protein that contains all the essential amino acids that your body needs for cell reproduction and cell repairing. And it's usually found in animal products. An incomplete protein is usually vegetable source protein, where it still requires additional food to meet those micronutrient essential amino acid targets. So guys, second half of the topic, the best time to consume protein and what quantity. I get asked this all the time. When should I have a protein shake, Dan? When should I be eating protein? How much protein should I be eating? My rule of thumb is, guys, whatever your calories allow you, I try and do. So I personally have about 6 to 8 meals a day, regardless of what I'm doing from a goal perspective. Now, that means usually wake up in the morning, small snack, probably about 300 calories. Then I break my meals down, but I try and get minimum 15 to 30 grams of protein. That's not 30 grams of meat. That's 15 to 30 grams of protein, which is equivalent to about 60 to 100 grams of certain meats of protein per meal. Snacks, 2 to 3, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm feeling a bit peckish, obviously I'll just go for a quick carb snack. I might do something like rice cakes, or I might do something, so definitely no protein there, but it's just going to keep me, give me a little bit of energy, and it's just going to make me pop a little bit, make me look fuller, because it's replenishing glycogen. But we'll talk about carbs next time. Hot topic is protein. So my advice is, for 20 minutes post your workout, I tend to have a meal. If you're working out in the morning, for the AM clients, you would have your breakfast meal, and it's usually either a Dan cake, which is friggin' awesome, or an omelet. So one of those things is definitely going to contain 15 to 30 grams of protein, depending on what your targets are. And then I'll just gradually try and stagger it throughout the day. If I'm aiming for 120 grams of protein a day, or 350 grams, or 320 grams, whatever it may be, I'll just partition that, across 6 meals. If I'm having 6 meals, across 4 meals, for those of you who are having 4 meals, and I might do 30 in the morning, 30 in the afternoon, and then 30 for dinner, and 15 in between snacks or an additional snack meal somewhere in there. But yeah, guys, probably stick to about the 20 to 30 grams, of protein post workout. Also, for the clients who are taking supplements, again, 1 scoop of WPI, whey protein isolate, is what you want to be consuming about 20 minutes, within 20 minutes of completing your workout. That's just when your body is asking for nutrients, because it's absolutely destroyed. So that's my advice on quantity and timing. Other than that, guys, you really probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours before your workout, you want to be consuming about 25 to 30 grams again, just to give you to keep you fuller and start that breakdown process, and to make sure you've got energy in your body for the workout. So guys, without further delay, I hope you guys have an amazing night. I would like to say thank you to everyone who joined: Jessica, Amy, Janetta, Simone, and Victoria. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this segment. What I would like to leave you with is this Saturday, Stress the Saturday, massive topic. Make sure you stay on board with that. Also, you'll notice I'm releasing a lot more mindset content on the Instagram page. That's not because it's a really good photo, or it's a really good topic. It's actually because majority of the time people's dreams fail to become reality because they have the wrong mindset, or they have something like a limiting belief, or in some cases they just need to raise their own standard. Guys, my goal here as a coach is to bring the best version of yourself out and make you take dramatic action and massive steps to get you into the body of your dreams. Now, keep on the social pages, guys, the YouTube, the Instagram, and the Facebook, because I will be releasing all this mindset stuff, to help you make sure you think clearly, and to give you motivation, inspiration to, take that massive commitment step to get into the body of your dreams. If you don't like what you see in the mirror, or if you're unhappy with the results that you're getting, feel free to reach out. And yes, always message me, stick with the community. That's what I've built this community for. You guys can ask questions. You guys can always message me if there's anything that I need to answer. But until next time, guys, have a great night, and I'll talk to you on Saturday. Catch you later.